We are live. The market update is back. I am your host, Bill Noble. Intel Semiconductor chips made in America. XRP Web3 money made in America. Made in America is back. Actually, it was never out of style. It was just, I don't know, out of favor. Everybody forgot about it. Their bag didn't go up immediately. Your bag will go up immediately at the moment where people give up on their bags. We're not doing that today. Matter of fact, we're changing the names of Bitcoin and ETH to Itcoin and Beef. That's what we're calling it, because this market is going to have an F around and find out moment. In other words, if you are not long, period, and if you are not long the right stuff, you're going to get disappointed. Now, you're disappointed now, but if you ain't on what's coming next, which is Web3, right? And don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. Look at the price of Intel stock. Look at what the orange man said about wanting semiconductor chips made in America. Where are we mining Bitcoin? Where are we building Web3? Didn't they tell you this? Didn't the orange man tell you that Robert Kennedy was going to be in charge of the National Institute of Health? Did he not tell you these things? Oh, yeah, he did. So what are we going to tell you today? Well, we're going to talk about what kind of coins you should be in. We're going to tell you that we've done 3 member podcasts. So how bullish are we? How imminent do we think this thing could kind of go? You know, maybe not tomorrow, but in the YouTube member area and in Patreon, we have done more content than we have ever done before. When you listen to what Toby Ward said tonight about Web3 in the future, you will never listen to another moron tell you that the cycle is over. That is ridiculous. I mean, it was ridiculous before I heard what she said. You heard what she said tonight? Oh my God. Forget about it. I mean, we could have, it was a one monologue market update. We were done in 15 minutes. She's like, Bill, hang on a second while I mic drop these people. Well, I explained it, and I was like, oh my God, can we turn this camera off so I can buy ETH and more antivirus? Man, have I got some shit to say about that. I already went off on Patreon. I went into the freaking woods to found a sign that said, you know, beware of snakes. And I went off. Patreon is our middle tier offering. Toby had some amazing stuff to say. She actually tuned in to listen to Janice and had some very interesting, nuanced observations about the recent Twitter space. If you don't know what antivirus is and you don't know about the recent developments, trust me, I'm going to fill you in. And if you want cool charts, check out LuxAlgo. You know, I'm looking at that thing, and we got the Bill Noble Elliott wave indicator where you can find 5-wave bottoms and tops. And we're on our way. We're going to get booked for Bitcoin Vegas. Scan that QR code, support the channel. Check out the premium content. We are going to answer the question, what do I do? When do I do it? And most importantly, why am I sticking with my existing bag? Okay, let me help you out with your bag. Let's start with what you're really here for, which is your bag. Okay. First of all, you know what you should keep and not keep, right? In other words, how much American-made crypto do you have in your portfolio? Let's start with that. So, sharing the screen. Banter Bubbles has conveniently showed us what the American-made cryptos are. How nice, right? Clearpool. It's the guy that got me into antivirus and Lush XRP, obviously, right? COQ has been moving. The orange man is moving, right? You know, there's Arrow, there's Gala for gaming, Moonwell, Render. No one wants to talk about any of this stuff. And Toby brought up one currency that's just a classic face melter, that I rarely talk about, but love to talk about. And I know this is going to sound ridiculous, and I don't mind repeating it. I mean, we gave it to the members, but it's not like, oh my God, the members are going to go out and front run everybody, because these two things just sit there. The two things that I'm just going to throw out there for free are Bitcoin Cash and ETH. Bitcoin Cash was mentioned on the antivirus stream last night. Okay, I'll go over that. Okay, first we're going to welcome who's here, but Bitcoin Cash and ETH as face melters when Bitcoin reaches escape velocity. Now, what is Bitcoin's escape velocity? Please tune into the member area to get those numbers, because I was like, really? Wow, is that how it's going to work? Is this 2021 or 2017? Tune in to find out. Let's welcome who is here. Oh my God, Bull Runner, he is here. Banging away with the emojis, especially the McAfee emoji. CZ's dog is broccoli. Welcome. 6 to 8 inches of snow in Boston on Bob. Simone Z with the $20 super chat. Orange Man taunting the bull. Victor, a new member, welcome. Tyson, Daniel, a member, hello. PW Bit G, Daniel, Anti. So we have antivirus drama version 1, antivirus drama version 2, and we're still here. As Daniel is noting, Grandpa Keeter, Alexandra, good morning in Europe. A better shot. Bautista Z, welcome. Bud74, my AI coins are getting smoked. You know what, bro? So's mine, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm taking this hill and I'm planting the John McAfee bird flag, right? The bird, you know what the bird is, right? The John McAfee bird flag at the top of this mountain. Is this mic working? I hope so, because I'm yelling into it. We'll go over that, because you know what? Conviction on antivirus is the same thing as conviction on the market. It's a top. It's over. The cycle's done. Shut up. Shut up. Not doing it. It's cycles within cycles. You long AI coins, they all went to zero. You're in AI agent winner. And then when this thing comes out of AI agent winner, the right AI agents are going to smoke to the upside, as well as AI infrastructure. Worried about layoffs? Worried about some computer taking your job? Well, Toby explained to you how to hedge all that, right? CryptoPath, DC Precise, Job, a new member, welcome. Rave Song Records, Bubba, Great Filibuster, Quiet Dawn, Tang Quash, good evening. Forrest Lenderman, welcome to the show, sir. Welcome. Oh my God. Okay, let's start with XRP. So, Orange Man comes out and says, we're going to do this a little bit differently tonight. So, Orange Man comes out and says, we are tired of having all of our chips and all of our medicine and all of our whatever, but he just said our chips. We are tired of our chips being produced overseas, and we want it all done here. Then, all of a sudden, right, the stock of a dead dinosaur company, Intel, moons. Yeah, in stock terms, right? This is a huge move. Okay, so, that's where Intel's been. Intel got their lunch eaten by NVIDIA on AI, and the company died. And the CEO literally screwed it up, literally ran it into the ground. Stock crash, and then the Orange Man comes out and goes, yeah, made in America. Whoop. That's a big move for a stock, especially a dead one. Okay. So Orange Man goes, you think I'm kidding. People still think he's kidding. Then that meme coin woke up today. It's like crypto. It's like we're on a delay. Crypto's like, yeah, we're the fast market. We're ahead of everybody. We're just going to go. We know what's going to happen next. No, you don't. No, this market is like Pump.fun. It's like crypto has gotten a lobotomy. Not because there's anything wrong with meme coins or Solana or any of that. It's just that We got to think. Like, not too hard. It's like, hey, here's this guy who they tried to blow his face off, and now he's telling you we're going to do everything made in America. That's it. Everything. Everything. This includes Web3. This includes Bitcoin. This includes everything. This includes Vitalik packing his bags and, whatever like funny hats and bunny suits he wears at conventions. He's going to come on over here to the United States. And XRP is like, oh, awesome. Whoop. See ya. Gone. Up 10%. Then they sell it back down a little bit again. And then tonight they're taking it up. Okay. That's like 2 weeks ago. It was the end of the world. It was an end of the world one day ago, 3 days ago. It was like, oh my God, let's sell everything. Oh my God. Oh my God, the rally failed. Like, bull markets get you at the most bearish points. Like, you're bearish, you just can't take it anymore, and then boom. Everyone gets off the train and it goes. And that's going to happen across the board in Bitcoin, and it's going to happen across the board just as soon as NVIDIA earnings are over, if not sooner, right? That's on the 26th. Everyone's like, that's the next thing everyone's going to like worry about and blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares about any of this legacy BS anymore. No one cares. I know that sounds funny coming from a legacy guy, but I'm telling you, everybody is a macro expert on crypto Twitter, and you should just freaking ignore it. Oh, the Fed, oh, rates, oh, this. You know how Trump's going to get rates down? By letting all these government employees go. You think mass layoffs at the IRS in front of tax season? Like, what kind of message is that sending? Like, these people, like, it's, and that's not like just the government. It's the government, it's Wall Street and Silicon Valley. It's just like 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. You got the unemployment rate going to 5%, and you got interest rates going way down. Like, yeah, the price of eggs is funny to talk about. It's like kind of a negative thing if you want to harp on things that are negative. I don't really want to do that. I want to focus on lower rates, lower dollar. Gold is interesting. Gold could go parabolic. And when gold goes parabolic, crypto will go up in such a fashion that you'll be happy to get a dip back to 100K. You'll be lucky to get a dip to 100K after the potential gold ramp. Again, details in the member area. Okay, news. Hopefully, if you don't have time to watch the market update, I would definitely encourage you to stick around and see all this news that, again, and the charts, which people are seriously underestimating. Now, another headline that, the market is just like oblivious to, DJT. So Trump media is going to go full MicroStrategy, right? It's like, how do we get this moving? Well, first we'll get World Liberty to do it. Then we'll get DJT to do it. We'll issue a meme coin. We'll get that going. Let's get it going. Call up the hedge funds and tell them to start mooning everything. Retail's out. Retail doesn't want to play. Crypto Twitter thinks the cycle is over. And I just put this guy's picture up here and I go, do you realize I didn't include it here because I lost it? I accidentally clicked it off. Do you realize that his mugshot from getting arrested in Manhattan, which was just the front cover of the New York Post, is outside the Oval Office? Not his presidential portrait. No. The mugshot on the cover of the New York Post is on a frame on the way in to the Oval Office. Just in case you think that this guy is kidding about anything. This guy's made mistakes in his life. There's all kinds of things you can say about him. You don't have to like him, but I'm telling you right now, if you underestimate what can go on here, like, for example, has anyone thought, because this just occurred to me, has anyone thought about what could happen in Bitcoin Cash if Roger Ver gets a pardon? If like the next crypto package, which should of course include McAfee, which we'll talk about. But I mean, it should include McAfee and Charlie Shrem. But can you imagine if there's another package where they drop the charges against Roger Ver and don't put him in jail? What could happen to Bitcoin Cash? I mean, nobody's thinking about, everyone's like, yeah, Roger Ver is done. Elon doesn't like him, whatever. What happens if they come out with some monster package This is another thing that's not talked about, right? So first, everyone wanted their bags mooned immediately. Now everyone's depressed because they didn't. Now you can barely get people to see, okay, XRP was up one day. So that's going to $4. But what happens if it goes to $6? Because they come out with some insane package. For every job you lose, they got to figure out how to create two. Now, some of that is going to be with subsidized lending. Some of that is going to be with like massive tax breaks to get everybody building everything here. I get it. That's going to include Web3 and crypto because they need to build it all. And even if they don't, the market's going to figure out that we need it anyway. But this guy has told you where it's going. And I don't know. We were too busy talking about the cycle ending. New York Stock Exchange files for a staking ETF with the ETH ETF with staking. You know, we live in a wacky world where Wall Street is coming to rescue Ethereum by giving Ethereum an interest rate, by making it money. Because you know what? Ethereum does have an interest rate. These gas fees that people pay, they go and create yield for stakers. Everyone hates this model, but guess what? Wall Street loves it. So they're like, hey, can we get some interest rate here? Can we get it so that you can buy it and then get interest too? And you know what? Uncle Sugar is going to allow it because Trump is buying ETH. Trump is ETH native. This is going to happen, right? Like Bitcoin blows through the level that we talked about in the member stream. And what's ETH going to do? You're not going to believe it, right? Like Bitcoin is going to have one final day in the sun versus ETH. And then ETH is going to stop and explode. And I know you don't want to hear it. You know what? It's so bearish on ETH. I don't even want to hear it. But I can't be on a member stream. I can't be on 3 member streams where the analyst is telling you, I'm telling you right. She's telling you, dude, ETH. And when ETH happens, the sectors go with ETH. So if your bags are down, you're rooting for ETH. You're rooting for some legacy institution, believe it or not, to come in and make you realize that something very, very big is going to happen on Ethereum. GameStop's going to buy crypto. So they raised like $4 billion and can't figure out what to do with it. So they're just going to buy Bitcoin. And we're going to see how big the squeeze really is in the stock, if it's there or if it's not, right? Trump administration begins mass layoffs in multiple federal agencies. Okay, so how are you going to protect yourself if the whole world gets wacky? How are you going to protect yourself? Right? You going to buy a gold bar and stick it under your bed? What are you going to do? Oh yeah, gold's probably going to 5,000. I'm not debating that. But what's the hedge? What's the infrastructure play? Right? Is it some stock? It's definitely not some stock. And you know how you know it's alts and Web3 or whatever sectors we're talking about in the member areas? And the sectors are obvious, right? I mean, you can go to Coinbase and you can find all kinds of stuff, right? Like what's Web3? What about Polkadot? That's an example. What about it? Right? What do you own that can be a piece of the new internet? You could never own the internet before. Now you can. And everyone is trying to like push it off the table like so many crumbs. That's insane. It's insane. Gold at 3,000. What's next? What's next? Probably 4,000 or 5,000. Or Bitcoin smokes to the upside. Gold goes to 5,000. Bitcoin's going to 320. Not today or tomorrow, but you'll wish you could get a retracement back to the current levels. You will spend the rest of your life going, man, I can't believe I didn't get on Solana below 200. That's just an example. Like, I can't, like, look at your bag and then ask yourself, why do I like it? Will my accountant love me if I get rid of it? And will I say to myself, wow, if it would only go back to where it is now, will I be thinking that later on? So if your accountant's like, keep it. If you're like, I still love it. And you're like, I think this is going to the moon and I'll pray it comes back down to this level so I can buy more. If that's how you feel about your coin, keep it. Like XRP is a classic example, right? If XRP goes to $5, nobody will ever believe that people were selling it close to 2. No one will ever believe it, right? The price of Bitcoin on Valentine's Day. In 2015, it was $259. Today, it's $96,000. Now, this is a useless piece of information at face value. At face value. Where this will help you is in altcoins in general. Okay. I'm getting into this now on the stream. Have I got the screen shared? Boom. Okay. So this is Coinbase. This is half of Coinbase. Where is Web3 in here? It's freaking everywhere. It's everywhere, like Fetch, right? All this stuff that stacks, Lido, right? DeFi, all this stuff that people just completely packed it in on, right? Just, if you don't know what to do, just go to Coinbase and find out what's moving. What's moving, right? Near, okay? Rose, Avalanche, okay? Avalanche has security token functionality. Like these little small up moves, this is like a market that's like, it's cooking. It's cooking slow. And if you bought Bitcoin, so if we go back to this slide, right? What does one slide have to do with the other? Okay. When you look at this, the people down here in 2015, they imagined this. They had like a 10-year vision of where this was going. Now, not every coin is going to have a 10-year horizon, but Web3 will. And if you pick 10 coins, you know, you can listen to our work. We have stuff in the Patreon store. You know, we have like, I mean, we did like 6, probably 5 hours of content this week, talking mainly a lot about small caps, right? You got to find the next one. You pick 10 coins, 4 of them might be huge, especially if you focus on the sectors that we're talking about, right? And even if you don't know what that is. What about layer ones? What about infrastructure? What about ETH, Bitcoin Cash, the future of money? Yeah, it sounds boring, right? If I still got your attention, I hope so. Don't go anywhere because we're going to do more charts. This is going to happen. Now, again, Robert Kennedy, let's talk about it. Why does this matter? Here's what Robert Kennedy's going to do. He doesn't have to pass any laws. None. Doesn't have to deal with Congress. Not at all. He has to fire all the scientists and bring a whole bunch of new scientists in to do honest studies about what everything means for the human body. Pesticides, preservatives, you know, medicine, whatever. What is these things done to the human beings? And if they are not good for human beings, they will publish the story, put it on the internet, and every trial lawyer in every country in the world will download the information and file class action lawsuits. And anybody who's not playing nice is done. And here's the kicker. Congress went along with this, right? Congress let this guy through. And the only guys that didn't let the guy through, the only guys that voted against it were guys like Mitch McConnell and Bernie Sanders, who are old. They're old, and they got told that if you vote for this, we will pay the people who love you a visit. We're old. Only the old guys who had to think, do I care enough about this to risk other people? They're the ones who voted against it. Okay. Everybody else who can get a security detail for themselves kept it and voted for this guy because they were scared of the orange man. So the orange man, and I'm not going to explain why, but the orange man, because I told Patreon, explain this, it has to do with Edward Snowden. If the orange man could get Robert Kennedy through, who is going to just ruin so many corporations and so many lives, right? Like people are done. People are Googling statute of limitations. The point is, why does anybody think that we're not doing a strategic Bitcoin reserve? Like, How is Bitcoin below 100K? I don't even understand it. I feel like I'm just going to wake up one day and Bitcoin's just going to be gone. That's what it's starting to feel like. There's going to be a supply shock. Like they had the supply shock in gold, and that's still in progress. And maybe the Fed has to step in to stop that somehow. But what's going to stop the supply shock in Bitcoin? They don't want the supply shock to stop. You know, Trump would probably want the government to pay $200 to get everybody's bags moving, especially with all these layoffs happening. Like layoffs are happening. Chase is doing them. Silicon Valley companies are doing them. The government's doing them. How did he get that off the front page? Well, you got to get the Trump meme coin going. You got to get Bitcoin going, right? You got to get your bags going, my bags going, or part of your bags going, or something going that you can get into. And I'm telling you, my guy RFK is the key. If Trump wants it to happen, it's happening. You don't have to like it. It's happening, period. Okay, Nicole Shanahan is going to be helping RFK so she can be in government, so she can be the governor of California. Establishing the president's Make America Healthy Again commission. Again, not kidding around. Grocery stores are rationing eggs. Okay, so now that, you know, NBC News has picked it up, right, as a way to make you depressed. So the price of eggs was a good example of something you would say about how to protect yourself against weird prices and weird things happening in the economy, because I don't know how 100 million chickens or whatever, however many chickens perished in 2024. All of them, like John McAfee, perished under suspicious circumstances. And it shows up at the grocery store so you can be depressed. Because that, prior to the Orange Man, that is what they wanted. And in crypto, we are not doing that. In crypto, we're going to bury the price of eggs tonight. We're not looking at it anymore. We're not talking about this. I'm not doing this. I'm not talking about this anymore because it's negativity designed to distract you from what you really need to be doing. Period. Okay. 900,000 Bitcoin addresses have more than one Bitcoin only. It's pretty hard to have one Bitcoin these days. It's going to be a lot harder to have it at 200. You better get your ticket for Bitcoin 2025 Vegas, right? You got the QR code and the link down below. I'm serious. Like I have like under promoted that. And then we started talking about like what escape velocity in Bitcoin was going to be. You better take a look at this. Okay. So just in case you think you don't need crypto, and just in case you don't think that John McAfee is going to come back, no matter what any Twitter influencer or what any social media CEO says, ByteDance, the guys that run TikTok in China, have somehow come out with AI that puts their whole like makeup million follower, multi-million, I don't even know how many people doing makeup on TikTok. They put them out of business. Like you can code up some shampoo and some company can have people live streaming all day about their products. Lush wants to do this. Again, I don't own the token. I'm not promoting the token, but I'm just saying there are people out there who are building things where human beings are walking around, and I am going to walk down the street with a little machine that's going to project a hologram of John McAfee, and we're going to walk down the street in Las Vegas. We're going to go out. We're going to film it. We're not. It's going to happen. It is happening. It is happening. ByteDance rolled out DeepSeek, and now, I'm sorry, the Chinese rolled out DeepSeek, and ByteDance just rolled out Auto TikTok. And McAfee's not coming back. Wow, really? Get out of here. Okay, we've now got Michael Saylor back off the new logo at the headquarters. Thank God. Thank God. Mike, get on a plane, get the orange tie back on, dust it off, and go hang out with the guy in El Salvador. Please stop the corporate logo thing. You're killing us with that. You're absolutely killing us with that. And I have one like other major cringe event. Jupiter buybacks start Monday. Here's my cringe event that I just can't take. I hate it so much. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, no. Aston Martin announces Formula One Coinbase partnership paid entirely in stable coins. Oh, Coinbase on a Formula One car. No, please stop that. I hate that. It's a good thing it's Aston Martin. It's not like Ferrari. I mean, Formula One is a very high-end industry. I have a huge amount of respect. I've actually seen it in person. It's so bearish. Please stop. Please stop. After dinner with Saylor, one more stack. So I ate dinner with Saylor in El Salvador, and I bought everything. Okay. So this character, we're going to talk about this right now. We're going to jump into some antivirus action. So this guy has 2 million followers. I've seen Elon replying to his tweets. Apparently he's famous. So here's the antivirus chart so we can look at what's going on, because there's a lot of action in antivirus. Okay, this is the 4-hour chart. We'll go to the 30-minute chart. We're like hanging around below 10 cents, trying to hang tough. Now, let's talk about this because this is about conviction. This is a brief segue about like, how should you approach the market? Okay, yes, we can take a shot at Sushi and Polkadot. Don't let me forget. Now, okay, request on the news update. Okay, hang on. Got a special request coming in. Breaking news for the Eagle King before. Okay, so I've seen this. Trump reportedly considering swapping crypto council for informal summits. The move is to avoid clashing with crypto tribes in the industry. It's unbelievable how in crypto we managed to sort of like, whoops, we managed to kind of like F ourselves, right? So it's like the Cardano guys fighting with the Ethereum guy, and crypto Twitter has now made itself into an Oval Office. So what we're going to do is we're going to let everybody go to the summits. We're going to let everybody talk. And then we're going to see what's going to resonate with the public or what's going to resonate politically. Right. And then those guys are going to get picked. So it's like a competition. It's like the show, The Apprentice, right? The summits are going to be the crypto apprentice. Everybody comes in and does their audition. That's how that's going to work. Everyone does their audition. So everybody wants auto moon. They want auto moon. They want to just wake up and have it done. You got to wait for the billions upon billions of dollars. They're going to get cut by Doge, and then they're going to rev it all right back up again for production in the United States. They just don't know where. But you do know that they're doing it because these guys are absolutely determined to do something. So everyone's like, oh my God, it's a council. Oh my God, it's just, look, if you have summits, you have more attention. If you have a council, you have a bunch of guys in a room. Again, it's the crypto apprentice. That's what it looks like to me at face value. We'll see what it is. All I know is if the orange man tells you it's happening, it's happening. Thank God I stuck to that narrative when it was down. Thank God I stuck to that. Like, it really, thanks to Toby. Right? Because Toby's like, why are we all upset? I'm like, well, we're all upset because shit's getting hammered. That's why we're upset. Excuse me. Getting hammered. If it's made in America, it's fine. Okay. Now, let's talk about conviction. So everyone, we showed the tweet earlier about, hey, in 2015, Bitcoin was at, $50. And now it's at 100,000. So in retrospect, it was obvious you should have bought Bitcoin in 2017 and held it through multiple 90% drawdowns to eventually arrive at the day when people questioned fiat, and now it's at 100K. Okay. That was supposedly obvious. It wasn't. but to Bitcoin maxis, it was. So let's talk about antivirus. So version 1, token comes out. I do videos about it. I do marketing. It goes up. I believe in it. It's the resurrection of John McAfee. It's John McAfee is an AI agent. First it tweets, then it'll talk, then it'll be a hologram. Right now it's talking on the antivirus website. The associated meme coin comes out 2 days after Trump coin while I'm on the air, believe it or not, and the token explodes. It goes to like 80 million, which frankly is cheap in my mind. So you have dog coins at 100. Then the token proceeds to decline because Twitter shuts off the Twitter feed because allegedly the AI agent, we're into AI as long as AI doesn't do anything that scares us. So we're resurrecting John McAfee, who was a famous crypto influencer. He was a combination of James Bond, Thomas Jefferson, and Albert Einstein all rolled into one. Right? They program this agent with publicly and privately held information. So an irreplaceable person gets programmed with irreplaceable data, sponsored by his own Twitter feed with 1 million people and his widow Janice. They create this coin that's attached to a talking dead person. Twitter shuts it off. Then, probably in an effort to reboot the marketing, they go to Mario, who we showed earlier. They do a deal with Mario. They send him tokens. And in total shock, they immediately dump the tokens. And then someone calls Mario and says, you know what? Watch out for these McAfee guys. Don't do business with them. Some sort of legal mumbo jumbo from the McAfee Foundation. None of it being true. Somebody said something to this guy and they pushed the low integrity button. And apparently they've done it before, which is unbelievable considering they have 2 million Twitter followers. So they literally took money, not from the project, from the pocket of the head dev. So this guy reached into his pocket, gave this guy Mario personal tokens. The guy dumped the tokens and didn't deliver anything on the contract. And they told them this on the phone with Janice McAfee. So not only did they, do this poor business decision, but they effectively insulted McAfee's widow. And the karma from this has produced a situation where this huge influencer could live forever because he bear posted and seemingly, let's use the word mistreated. I would use different words elsewhere. Okay. He mistreats these people and bear posts the token at around 10 to 20 million market cap. Okay. Sending everyone reeling, everyone freaking out. You should have heard the Twitter space where everyone is lecturing a programmer and Janice McAfee who has had to defend herself against, I don't know, intelligence agencies, cartels. You can't believe it. They're lecturing them about a contract in crypto gone bad, which has never happened. They're lecturing people who should be doing computer programming, keeping the spirit of John McAfee alive and using that to propel a meme coin to unparalleled billions in valuation. But we're worried about a contract. So everyone gets bearish. Now, when these type of things happen, you have to ask yourself, because I own the token. So when it went down, I bought more, just telling you that. And I have decided that when someone tries to stop the project and the project doesn't stop, and the AI agent, which is now running on the website and will run on a different social media account soon. We don't know what Twitter is going to do. Okay. But I do know that Elon, does reply to Mario's tweets every once in a while. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle this. Especially since, Janice McAfee's been through a lot in her life. So this is just another ho-hum day in the sun for her. Somebody trying to give her a hard time. because of John McAfee wrote the Declaration of Cryptocurrency Independence and everything he said in 2018 that people thought he was wackadoo for, now is common knowledge. You don't think we need John McAfee back with a guy with 2 million followers? Like, if anything, not only did he bear post by kind of shorting the token and shafting the project, but he just showed you why we need John McAfee back. Literally. Like, this is a crypto influencer. This is a guy with 2 million followers. This is how he behaves. So Elon and his friends shut it off. And then some guy hurts Janice McAfee. Now, for me, this is it. I'm digging in. Like this, I am going to plant the flag on Mount McAfee. And I feel the same way about the rest of crypto. I was like, you know what? There's no way you're getting me off this, especially with XRP and Intel moving, right? Some of that major boomer action. It's like, boom, somebody bear posts antivirus. Boom, somebody's like thinks XRP is over. They think the cycle is done. They think the orange man is kidding. They think he's going to run out of gas. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's just going to make it bigger and better, right? Bigger and better. Let the tribes compete in crypto. Let them compete. In a true sign of unbelievable stuff, the New York State goes, you know what? You know, people who live in New York, they can't buy anything, right? They can buy like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and 6 meme coins on Gemini. That's it. This is no choice. Like, New York hates crypto. I can't believe New York is the home of all finance, and you can't do crypto in New York. Well, that's going to change. That's going to change because the phone's ringing over there. And they're like, do you guys want to like have your whole budget and your whole little thing disappear? Because, we just press this, Elon just presses a button and you're closed. Like, a pink slip, just like, it's like your Apple wallet. The pink slip just pops up on your phone. You're done. If New York State is turning it around, everyone is going to turn it around. Bitcoin network activity hits 12-month lows. Don't you love it when people just pack it in and give up? Right? It's just everyone's giving up. Everyone's bearish. I mean, again, I know it's just a small example, but I'm sitting here looking at my phone. I didn't share my screen. I'm sitting here looking at my phone going, I'm listening to a guy go off on the computer developer and Janice about how to do a contract in crypto. And I'm listening to this guy knowing that this guy would be complaining if the developer or Janice or something wasn't involved. Like, no matter what would happen, this person would be upset. And it's amazing how in crypto we're sitting on what Toby Ward is explained to you in a way that you cannot possibly understand until you hear it. That we're sitting on like the next version of internet. We're sitting on the next big thing for humanity. They were all bearish, right? We're all packing it in. We're not doing Bitcoin. There's ETF outflows, sell John McAfee's legacy for 8 million market cap. It's not a bottom. It's not a top. It's a bottom. If you can ignore the Coinbase Formula One car, everything else is a bottom. It's a bottom, not a top. Trump wants all Bitcoin mined in the United States. You want to do business in the United States? You're either going to do business in the United States or you're going to pay the government. That's kind of his attitude. Now, I don't know how that works with the economics textbook, but in crypto, it's amazing. It's amazing. Did you see the number of bubbles on the Made in America thing on Banter Bubbles? CoinGecko has it. It's like, oh, go here and pick one. How about Algorand or Hedera? What about them? Has anyone even talked about that in the last week and a half? That's a set of word. It's almost a joke. Like, are you still watching? ETH, Bitcoin Cash, Algorand, Hedera. And any layer one you get your hands on from this cycle. How hard is that? It's not hard at all. Estonian national pleads guilty to $577 million Ponzi scheme. You know, one of the things I try to pride myself on is I try to be one of the good guys in crypto. I would rather be a good guy with 21 million people who I love and love me back, like you guys, like our customers, like the Spartans in Patreon, or the antivirus warriors, the samurai. I would rather have you guys than have 2 million followers and literally be doing harm to widows. Not only the widows, but the little guy out there who believes, who gets in this meme coin, who gets in a project and is like, you know what? I want to believe in something big, and hurt all those people. I would rather be me. The thing about crypto that's incredible is that because of the promise in the future, it's like the Wild West. You've got to deal with these unbelievable characters, and they're everywhere, right? Like you can go to a crypto convention, throw a rock up in the air, and it's probably going to land on either a sociopath, a scammer, or a jerk. I hate to say it. Nothing against people who go to crypto conferences. You know what I'm saying, right? They're everywhere. Do me a favor. Be one of the good people in crypto. Be a good crypto ambassador, please. Gee, English Bank owns 131 million BlackRock Bitcoin ETF holdings. UK-based bank now holds 2.5 million shares because they have to have it in their portfolio. This is the thing about Bitcoin and ETH that's just so simple. People in crypto don't understand it. The higher gold goes, the higher this alternative dollar portfolio has to be. They can't ignore it, right? The S&P has stagnated, so they're buying German stocks and gold. What's next? They're buying everything, of course, what they should be buying. We know what they should be buying, but they're not. They're selling it, or people are giving up, or whatever. This is like one of the biggest give-up trades I've ever seen. It was all summer long. They gave you all the bullish news with the orange man, and now we're going to do another give-up trade, probably culminating 3 days before NVIDIA earnings releases, right? Another fear trade. Meanwhile, again, legacy just continues to indiscriminately hoover up this market. You're going to have a supply shock in Bitcoin. You're going to. Ethereum devs clash over looming upgrades. Boys, please get it together. Because you know what? I think all they have to do is shut up. Like, since when do we have it's like we have the CEO or the president, that's Vitalik. Then we have the Congress, that's the devs. So it's like, oh, well, you know, the devs are going to veto what the CEO says. We need to fire the CEO and get somebody. I thought it was decentralized. Like, I thought we put the tokens out there. We kind of let the ecosystem do its thing. We did some upgrades, but whatever happened to that? When did Ethereum become a company? Like Ethereum, like that's what they think of it. It's like a company, not a coin. Ethereum is a highway for the internet and finance. Yet the news media reports on it like it's a company. It's kind of strange. And I don't think it's the right way to look at ETH anymore, because I think it's just getting so bearish and depressing. Like ETH may underperform Bitcoin one last time and then turn around and smoke to the upside. Trump meme coin spikes 40%. Interesting, right? 40% in one day at that market cap. That's a huge move. That is a huge move. Pump.fun debuts mobile app for launching and trading Solana meme coins. Okay, so why do people play in meme coins? Because they need some hope, or because they can't figure out what else to do. When the rest of this market offers them hope, when the rest of this market wakes up, then they can do meme coins, or they can do technology, or they can do a hybrid like antivirus. Okay. People are in meme coins for hope. They're trying to find something. And I know you probably have an AI agent meme coin that got smoked. That's okay. You either stick with it or find a new one. I don't think you should give up on the sector. I also think you might want to reallocate money out of this and into something that could double overnight, because I think if ETH and Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin all went up 70% and you missed it, you would hate yourself. Honestly. Like, I know that's not a popular view that those coins could do that, but if you missed it, you would hate yourself. If your downside risk in Bitcoin is like 94,000 and your upside is 220 by the end of the year, are you going to say to yourself, I was on Pump.fun but missed 94K Bitcoin? It's a question. It's just a question. Bitcoin traders fearful after $651 million ETF outflow. Is a crash coming? I don't know. When the media thinks a crash is coming, what happens? A banana singularity. Because when everyone's like, oh my God, it's over, I'm throwing in the towel. Let me go chase NVIDIA. No. Wrong. Just wrong. West Virginia legislature introduces digital asset reserve bill. Why? Why? Because U.S. states have figured out that there's a problem with the dollar. When you tell me that the Pentagon spent $600 million in sushi, that news media organizations are taking money directly from the government, and there's so much fraud, they're probably scared to go into Social Security. They're probably scared to go in because not only can they not make the payments, but if they find all this fraud in all these other places, the Fed, the Treasury, Social Security, all these places, talked about this in the member area. What happens when they go in there? U.S. states are like, you know what? I'm done with this, man. This federal paper that they gave us, what happens if our citizens are hosed? What are we going to do? Right? If things get chaotic, we get left holding the bag. If something weird happens at grocery stores or banks or whatever, yeah, the federal government can help us, but we got to help ourselves. We got to have a different currency. And so do you. So state governments know it, corporations know it, and everyone's like, oh my God, my bags are down. Well, okay. Your bags are down. You can have two choices. Your bags are down, or when Skynet takes over and introduces himself, you're not ready. You want to be ready. I'm serious. Goldman Sachs stacks ETH and Bitcoin. So Goldman Sachs asset management is huge. I actually used to report to somebody. My old boss went straight to the top and ran Goldman Sachs asset management, I don't know, for like 10 years. Something like that. It's huge. It's like, Fidelity, except a lot of it's like institutional and high net worth individuals. It's a massive organization. And, they know, like all these portfolio guys know, that they're going to have at least 5% in crypto by the end of the year. At least 5%. Right? Really, the number is more like 20, but they can't get there. It's too big. They got to do what they can to get to either 1%, 2%, or 5% quickly without breaking the market. So Goldman Sachs loves that you hate ETH. It loves that you're not interested in Bitcoin. They love crypto Twitter. It's almost like they're paying crypto Twitter. Like it's some kind of like bizarre mind game that they're telling you. It's like, ooh, the cycle's over. You sell, get out, give me all your crypto. Right? They're going to take everything and sell it back to you at massively higher prices. I got a great idea. Why don't we flip this game on these characters, right? I know these guys are coming. You can see it, right? BlackRock creates the ETF, and then everybody has to buy the ETF. Everybody, central banks, governments, pension funds, these asset managers, they are so huge. You are going to have a supply shock and a banana singularity in Bitcoin. And can you imagine if you have it in Bitcoin, what's going to happen with, like, say, XRP? Right? In other words, if they can't get their hands on Bitcoin physically anymore, what are they going to get their hands on? They're going to grab ETH, XRP, Bitcoin Cash. They're going to grab anything they can get their hands on, particularly if it's American made, because that's all going to be transaction tax free. The list of cryptos, that's why he wants the summits. I mean, I haven't read the details, but it makes sense. Let's have a bunch of events. Let's all talk. In other words, let's take Bitcoin Nashville and have the Trump government version, right? Like there's going to be the Trump government version of everything. Sorry to tell everybody, right? Like Truth Social is going to be the Trump government, like media company, right? It's going to be like Trump stamp. And then Trump's going to have Trump conventions. You're not going to go to private sector conventions in 5 years. You're going to go to Trump conventions in 5 years. Why not start marketing it now while we're president? We got to do Web3 anyway. Let's do it now. I'm serious, right? And people think, oh yeah, this doesn't matter. Goldman's in. Why is Goldman in? Right? Could Goldman come in and do something huge on ETH? Do you think these guys are going to sit around and wait? They're not, right? Crypto firms move to El Salvador. There's a lot of crypto firms that move to Dubai, right? I'm sure Dubai is a very nice place. I'm sure a lot of English people who went to Dubai are happy, right? So they can do things on Facebook without going to jail. But the orange man wants it all done here. All of it. Near Protocol executive live streams and has to apologize afterwards. It's really hard in crypto because the number of men behaving badly incidents, I mean, Wall Street does these things that are like cataclysmic to the system every 10 to 10 years, something like that. But in crypto, it's almost like we have one every day. What would happen if the 2,000 people that watch the show and the 21,000 people that subscribe to the channel woke up and said, you know what, I'm going to be a good guy in crypto, or I'm going to be an XRP Army sergeant, or I'm going to join the Spartans in Patreon, or I'm going to join the AIntivirus Samurai. This way, one day, we would be the headline as the people who helped build Web3. When your grandkids say, hey, grandpa, what was it like back when everybody was bearish on Web3? It's like, well, we had this guy from Near who was out of his mind. We had all these guys on Pump.fun live streaming. But you know what? I ignored all that and I got involved in Web3. And your kid's going to go, wow, grandpa, you're a legend. If this is what passes for news in crypto, we're looking at the wrong stuff. We're looking at the wrong stuff. Crypto bills stack up across the United States. Bitcoin retail demand dips just 2% as analyst eyes breakout. Coinbase and Robinhood crush earnings estimates. Well, of course, crypto was going to the moon. Everything was fine. The orange man told you where it was going. Everybody got involved and everyone stopped. Because I don't know what, they didn't get 100x in a month? You got to be kidding me. I'm sitting here hoping AIntivirus stays around 10 cents so I can buy more, so I can get it to my producer, so Toby can get more, so we can just get more, right? It's like, oh, you guys want to leave ETH below 3, somewhere in the 3,000 area? Awesome. Great. Terrific. Fantastic. Well, I'll take it all. I just don't care. I mean, I listen to Toby, sit there, to podcast 90 minutes, then I carve up the videos and I watch snippets. I'm like, oh my God, this is going up so high. I got to get on the air. We got to talk news. We got to talk charts. Look at this. Look. MasterCard acknowledged 30%, tokenized 30% of transactions. It views stablecoins as competition, acknowledging crypto's potential to disrupt traditional finance. Exactly. Hey, homie, why are we paying you 3% of what we do every day when we can have people scanning QR codes and get instant gratification without you and then ship the stable coins out and buy Bitcoin? What exactly do we need you for? You want to charge me 3% and the bank wants to make me wait 3 days to get my money? It's over. It's done. Right? It's just, it's known and it doesn't matter until it does. XRP price analyst targets $8 as ETF approval speculation intensifies. The orange man is going to provide massive tax incentives for Ripple to start hiring people. I think it's wrong to think of Ethereum as a corporation because Vitalik is not a CEO and that's not how Ethereum was designed. However, with XRP was designed to be attached to Ripple as a giant business development entity, to develop relationships with banks, to get XRP out there as a way for banks to cut costs. Because I got news for you. If you don't cut costs, if you don't get more efficient, if you don't get lean and mean in this environment, you're not going to make it. Banks who cannot figure out how to adopt crypto are done. I'm serious. If you cannot get a crypto payment system together, if you cannot get crypto custody, State Street wants to do custody, all these places, if they do not figure this out, they are done. And you know what? They're going to start acting with some urgency. The SEC acknowledged a Doge ETF filing. Let me ask you something. Whether you hold Bonk or Trump or antivirus or whatever, what is going to happen if they actually put a meme coin in an ETF? Like, even if it's like XRP and Doge, like personally, I think that's how they should do it. They should do like 3 coins at once. What happens if the government actually says, you know what, go for it on Doge? They're going to be acknowledging a new form of money. They're going to be saying a digital asset like Doge is a commodity. You can debate its value, but doesn't that elevate all valuations at that point? In other words, does meme season start with Doge, and is meme season coming? Right? In other words, no one wants to talk about meme season because memes are all down. But what happens if a Doge ETF at some point in the year, perhaps during the summer, when everything just goes, oh my God, it's a Doge ETF, and that whole sector takes off? Because you are going to have to play the sector game. And if you want to know how to play the sector game, you know where to go in the YouTube member area. Coinbase CEO predicts 10% of global GDP to be on crypto rails by 2030. Brian, Coinbase. You know, I have to say, I realize this is a wildly unpopular opinion. I do not understand what these guys are doing. All of crypto, all of digital assets, 10% of the world will be on chain. Yet everything that they've listed is meme coins, right? They listed big cap meme coins and dumped it on everyone's head. Virtuals, their AI agent protocol, was listed on Kraken before it was listed on Coinbase. Most likely because Coinbase Ventures cashed out on it and sold over the top of all the little guys, which is fine. That's free markets, whatever. They took the risk. They invested in the beginning. When is Coinbase going to be the pioneer for Web3? I don't know. I guess they're waiting for the government to give them clarity. Maybe they're waiting so that they don't have to face another Gensler. I just don't understand why day after day after day. I guess they can't make money because no one cares, which is unbelievable, right? Like, what comes first? Coinbase listing it or people caring? I think Coinbase should start listing technology companies. Because you know what? If they don't, they're gonna when it really goes, they're gonna be in a hurry to list everything, which makes it feed on itself. See, I just thought of that. Now that they talked it out, maybe what's really bullish here is the fact that, like, Coinbase, even though they're sponsoring race cars, they're not putting cryptos on the fast track. So what happens if the thing takes off? If the orange man, gets out the blessing wand, if anybody has been in a Catholic church, and starts sprinkling crypto holy water on everybody, and the whole ecosystem explodes, or big sectors explode, and Coinbase doesn't have it listed, and they have to do panic listings as it's moving up. Because, we don't like anything when it's down. When Bitcoin's at 50 in the yen carry trade crisis, oh, I don't want it. But at 110, it's much more attractive. Bitcoin bull market is far from over. Historical BTC trend is tied to the 200-day moving average. Okay. I don't think this is over. We'll look at some charts. XRP Doge rally. Coinbase benefits for near-term strong momentum 2025 is off to a good start. Yeah, you're right. It is. Why? Mainly because of XRP. Look at this wick. Whew. Did they get everybody out of this thing or what? Then this thing turns around and it's probably going to make a monster 5-wave new high, right? All the way up, down, correction, just carry on. Let's go to LuxAlgo. XRP on LuxAlgo. You don't get to the premium zone or any resistance until 345. You got minor resistance at 292. Meanwhile, LuxAlgo coming in with the big buy signal with conviction of a 4. That is very strong conviction. So momentum indicators are going with it. And like 2 days ago, I saw some AI service say, I don't know, they got a sell signal in XRP. So typical of a bull market, right? Like the momentum wanes, it stops everybody out, and then it sits and everything beeps negative and then goes straight up. Then you got different algorithms jumping on it. You had every bottom signal on the planet like 10 days ago. But it just took 10 days of sitting there looking like garbage for people to go, oh, wait a minute, right? Like, look at this. Patreon, I think, got this chart. Solana versus Bitcoin. So here we have Solana versus Bitcoin. And you're asking yourself, can this whole Solana ecosystem, can this layer 1 universe wake up? So again, looking at LuxAlgo, right, which is an add-on trading view on the QR code here, which frankly I undersell. You have this X signal, which means slowing selling momentum. You have red on red indicating completely giving up. So everyone's like, get me out of my Solana. I'm going into Bitcoin. I'm done. And you also have this triangle, which is like the DeMark bottoming system. All on the bottom of like a giant expanding triangle where equilibrium is like materially higher. Like Solana could outperform Bitcoin for a month or 2 months in order to like adjust this chart and this metric back up here. And for the same group of guys in Patreon, I looked at Render versus Bitcoin. Like, remember Render? Multi-coin capital. Brian Young was into it in the beginning. LuxAlgo's coming in and buying it. Render versus Bitcoin was at its discount zone, meaning it was just like, nobody wants Render. It's like, okay, yeah, we know about Bitcoin, but it's like, I'm done. I want out. AI infrastructure, out. Gone. Done. Don't want it. You got every buy signal on the planet here. This is new today. Like, you know, Friday night fire. Love Hedera sitting on an equilibrium zone. Hits the 200-day moving average. Do you think they knew the 200-day moving average was there on that wick? You think the machines knew? Oh, I think they knew. I think they knew, right? It's like Hedera could easily go to 40 cents. Currently, it's trading at 23. Like 40 cents is like no problemo. It's going to take out its high. It is. So is XRP. So is Algorand. I think Algorand is the one that could be a monster, to be honest with you. I mean, I haven't, you know, sitting on its 200-day moving average, all of these bottoming signals, and what happens if Algorand gets gold on chain. It's just something I think about, right? Like, what happens if one of these characters comes out with something that's like, oh yeah, remember that whole real world asset thing? Huh. Amazing, huh? Man, when this breaks out, it's going to be epic. This is Ondo. You got to watch out for one of these investment banks making some kind of an announcement. I'm dead serious. Right. It's Goldman. It's BlackRock. It's freaking somebody, dude. I got to look at OM because I noticed that was up again today. It's funny. They consider this a layer one. I just can't believe what this thing can do, right? This is like they did a 5-wave top here. Then they did a perfect A. This is the benefit of software, by the way, right? It does a perfect A, B, C correction, does this huge wick down, and then goes straight up. Straight up. You want to know what's kind of effed up? I thought it was going to stop at 6. So the bullish guy thinks it's going to stop at 6. So naturally, it goes to 8. What happens when the rest of the market starts acting like this? This thing is a leading indicator. It's a leading indicator, right? It was like Caspa and Injective and SUI and SEI in the beginning. Now it's real world assets. I mean, Clearpool, all these plays are going to follow. Polkadot. I'm okay with going with this LuxAlgo buy signal. I know there's resistance here. I do not see how any of these big cap altcoins, like at this point, if you held it this long, right? Like, because this is, obviously this is very frustrating, right? All the way up, all the way down, right? Right. This was down, up, down. Obviously, it's horrible. The discount zone held. The buy signal is there. Just leave it. Just leave it. Now, somebody is going to win in DeFi. I know Toby has liked sushi in the past. I mean, when you look at how destroyed this is, I just have such a hard time getting bearish below $1, right? In other words, these DeFi plays on ETH, I know it's a joke, but if I had to hold a bag, leave the bag with stuff that would benefit if ETH went up, which could be Polkadot and Sushi. That's how I would do it. Okay, let me see if I can get the token price right for World Liberty Financial. Okay, don't have the right ticker. Maybe the Eagle King can get me the right graph there. I don't know, man. Let me pull Trump up. I know I can do that. God, it's just unbelievable what this thing can do. God, what a monster. It's like I can't even remember what the fully diluted market cap on this thing is. I don't know if this is the final pump. I don't know. Or whether or not you're going to have some kind of this. Every meme coin person everywhere is rooting for this particular coin, especially with antivirus. Because not only does antivirus have a story and an influencer with 2 million followers short, but if this thing ever took off, I'm surprised it's not higher, to be honest, especially after Bobby Kennedy gets in office. Because when Bobby Kennedy gets going, like, he hasn't been on the tape since he was running for president. Now he's going to be on the tape every single day. These guys are winning the fight. They are. They're just winning the fight, right? And that into itself can propel crypto, right? I'm serious. Everybody thinks it can't happen, and that's exactly when it does. Let's look at ETH. We can laugh or cry. okay, I would recommend you take it seriously. Like, it's not that I don't want to take ETH seriously. Of course I do. It's just that it's underperformed Bitcoin so badly. Okay, here comes the Eagle King with World Liberty. God bless the Eagle King. Seriously, like Eagle King forever. I don't know. Is that for real? I don't know, man. See, I don't know who owns this. I am not familiar with this token. What I am familiar with is the fact that if you want to do business in crypto and you want to be big, you're going to pay World Liberty Financial to be in your portfolio. You know what I'm saying? You're going to pay the Godfather. Like if you look at ETH versus Bitcoin, it's already been to the discount zone. Okay. You may be waiting for one final heave. Maybe not. I mean, it's at the discount zone on the daily. It's on the discount zone on the weekly. Look at his total capitulation here. I mean, ETH versus Bitcoin is back where it was when the bull market started in December of 2020. So it's almost like ETH. It's almost like you're going back in time at 2,700. You're going back in time, right? I mean, what happens when this changes value? This is the question that people are not asking, right? Because you can't ask it, because it's like, okay, I'm turning off the stream. I'm not listening. Like, I want to talk about ETH, but I don't want to talk about ETH, right? I'd rather talk about XRP because everyone's excited about XRP. But the funny thing is, if you're excited about XRP, you got to be excited about ETH, because the American-made cryptos are going to push the American companies onto layer one blockchains. And the only layer one blockchain that can handle all of Wall Street is Ethereum. That's a fact. I mean, it can handle stablecoin payments on Solana, but if you want to put, 10% of the world on chain, according to Brian Armstrong, that's got to be done on ETH or any new layer one that comes out, right? And then, ETH can underperform Bitcoin one more time, or Bitcoin can take off. And then when ETH follows that time, that's the one where ETH goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. Right? Okay. Let's see who's here. Trisha tuning in on Twitter. Welcome. Right? Mojo is here. DGen Dojo. Welcome. Just finished work. How we doing? Dude, it's Friday night. No date, no problem. Right here, Steve Odell from the XRP Army. We had somebody from the XRP Army on the antivirus space. And I didn't do the antivirus chart. Let's try the antivirus chart. Let's face the music. See what we got. I can tell you what my strategy is. Whoops, sharing the wrong screen. Okay. So let's go to a 30-minute chart. Now, currently, the battle is at this 10 cents area, right? This was that high uptick right here. And once you blew through that level, it went. So this I'm defining as the important point. And like many meme coins, it's going to test you, right? Now, to be honest, I hope it wins the battle right here, because I think the bad news is out, right? And I don't even think Mario not speaking for the project is bad, because he may wind up getting caught over Janice McAfee. You are barking up the wrong tree if you think that the McAfee community is going to take this lying down, honestly. Now, the good news is we don't have a disreputable individual representing us, or someone tried to stop the project. Someone tried to stop John McAfee, and they didn't. They didn't. Everybody who knew him, everybody who heard his message, bought Bitcoin in 2018. or earlier, right? John McAfee can't be silenced. John McAfee is alive and well in the price of Bitcoin today. His 1.8 million followers, when they heard McAfee was back, that's what mooned this coin to begin with. And they will come back. They will come back. Now, the question is it 9 cents? Right? So is this like some sort of stop fishing exercise? Like, this is just to make sure we get everybody out. Okay. And if not, the old token, the high market cap was 5 million. So between 5 and 9 million, even though on a percentage basis, that's huge. I don't know. I just continue to believe that the bigger the base, the higher in the space, right? You're going to look at this the way you were looking at SPX 6900 and all these other memes, because what the Mario thing has done has fired up the McAfee cult, right? It's fired up the antivirus army. That's all. And everyone sold because, I don't know, some grumpy old man came on and lectured the guy about a contract. I kind of felt bad for him. The fact of the matter is, John McAfee's going to talk again. And nobody listened to what John McAfee said the first time, because what he said in the Declaration of Cryptocurrency Independence was so outrageous that people didn't even understand it. It was like, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that you print money, blow up the banking system, and use that as an excuse to print more money. That's it. And then, we work, and that work is constantly devalued. So you wake up one day and maybe people don't want to work, or maybe people just want to do meme coins, right? You got to find some level of investment to hedge yourself. John McAfee created the Doge movement, right? He created the cryptocurrency independence movement, which Donald Trump is now leveraging to help the United States get out of $37 trillion in debt. And at the centerpiece of it all is a meme coin that trades for 9 million market cap. $9 million, right? It's like we can look at the chart, or we can look over here at this. 9 million market cap. I mean, I don't know. Has anybody looked at, we haven't looked at this. Elon Trump fart. I'm just curious as to where we are. Right. So Elon Trump fart is at 9 million. So it's your choice, right? Elon Trump fart at 9 million, or John McAfee walking down the strip in Vegas with his boy Bill, me and my holographic friend out for the evening. Breaking news. Here we go. Excuse me. Hey, it's Friday night. They're figuring this out, right? So first it was, let's do the tariffs over the weekend. And that was like, oh my God, we were trying to save equities and we blew up crypto. Now let's catch them all on Friday night, all bearish. See, this is like, these guys know. They're all bearish. They're all out with their girl. Their girl told them, bro, put your phone down and pay attention to me. I'm sick and tired. I've heard this. Trust me. Put your freaking phone down. Stop the computer. Stop doing crypto. Stop dreaming about the God candle and pay attention to me. And then you look up at your phone when she goes to the ladies' room and you're like, oh my God, the crypto czar just bull posted the market. And everybody is caught bearish, sleeping, whatever. I don't know, man. The market isn't really moving on that. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's nice. These guys realize what they got to do now. Like, you know what got their attention? I'm going to tell you what got their attention. When they realized that this wick in ETH, like I know everyone's bags got wrecked, right? But when ETH goes from 3,300 to 2,100, this woke somebody up. This woke them up. And they're like, yo, man, we got to do something. We got to do something. Trisha says, I hear all the red states are hoovering up Bitcoin. So that makes your theory 100% correct. They will just take it all. Right. You know, at some point, I mean, I know the state of Texas is very savvy on gold. Right. I mean, we got Texas Precious Metals here. That's like 90 minutes away from me. Trust me, if your metals are at Texas Precious Metals, they're safe. I've actually been inside the facility to do business. It's incredible. Okay. So you have states doing it, and this woke up the federal government. Like Trump may be on the phone with his czars. You know how Trump is, right? It's like, okay, let's have a giant summit. Let's get big, right? Atlantic City, right? New York, skyscrapers, casinos, hotels, big, big, big. I don't want to have a committee. I want to have a show. And the market's not up. The market's not up, right? In other words, they may be entering an era where they're realizing that in order to wake this market up, they may have to get medieval on tape. That it's not good enough anymore to just go, oh, Eric Trump said he owns Solana. It's not good enough anymore for whatever reason. I mean, it's stupid, but not. You know, it's like, hey, guys, write a check, build something. Sam Altman got $500 billion. How much did Brad Garlinghouse get? Hello? Right? This is going to happen. And I understand that you're tired. I understand. I understand that I'm tired. But when you have these kind of wicks, like sometimes you need to do technical analysis, and sometimes you just need to look at the chart and go, this is stupid. This is stupid. Right? Like, really, why are we afraid of 100K Bitcoin? Toby brought this up tonight. Well, because that's an important number. Okay, obviously. 10K was an important number once. 20K was even bigger. That's when Michael Saylor just like popped a Red Bull. It was like, I don't care. I'm paying 20. And I know everybody, every hedge fund guy knew was like, what a savage. Everybody was afraid of 20K. Nobody thought it was ever going to go back there, right? It went up like in 2017. It went straight up and then went straight down, and people were like, "It's never going back there. That's it. It's done." This was a fun experiment from a couple pennies to 20K. It's over. Can you imagine if 2017 happens again? Arthur Hayes said it. A bunch of people have said you could have a repeat of 2017. Now, that is defined as a banana singularity that like sneaks up on people. So people want 2021, which is their whole bag goes up all at once. I don't think it's going to be like that. Maybe it's a banana singularity in, say, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. And maybe that banana singularity is so strong that it ignites certain sectors. Let's just say, like, everybody's got a scenario, right? What happens if Bitcoin gets to escape velocity and then all the cryptos that should have been rallying all along all of a sudden catch up? In other words, let's do it another way. If I told you that you could have a 2-month move that would be a cycle, would you stick around with your bag? Would you hang on? Now, you would probably say yes, but like me, you've been miserable. It's miserable because you're looking at it and you're looking at this in the short term. And, in your mind, it should be a giant green candle, but on the screen, it's all red and negative. Everyone's a negative, right? I'm so tired of my own personal negativity. I will own this. Like, I look at some of this stuff and I go, oh my God. What is this? And then I talk to Toby. I go to the member stream. It's like, am I the host of the member stream, a co-host of the member stream, or do I go to it? The answer is both. You're listening to me. I'm listening to her. That's what the member stream is, right? We translate. I translate what she says. And one of the things that she's saying is that we're on the verge of something big. How many people in crypto? Like, people in crypto may be saying, well, this last dip is the last, this dip is the last dip. And that has not worked. I understand. But I don't know if people are saying we're on the verge of something big. Like, for example, an unrelated but related topic. I watched Ben Armstrong. I watched his last video. And I watched behind the scenes as guys I know and respect, like serious respect, said that they were worried about what was going on with that situation. And the thing that's funny about it is that I don't know how many people care about what's going on there, right? About, he's not feeling well. Just a reminder, he made crypto last cycle. We wouldn't be here, I think, if it wasn't for one of the things that he did last cycle. He gave XRP and Cardano a shot and put that on a chart as something to aim for in the sky. That $3 XRP target. He did that. Now, I saw his latest video. It's something to think about, that if that guy is experiencing that level of distress or acting out or whatever, perhaps it's time to not only rediscover our humanity and show him some mercy, but ask ourselves that if crypto or the people in crypto like Mario dragged BitBoy into the pit, right? It makes me more determined not to go there, not to get bearish, not to get negative, right? Because Ben is up to his chest in negative energy. I know about that because I put out my fair share of negative energy, which is why I go to and co-host the YouTube member stream so I can get my act together, so that I don't wind up in a room like Ben, making videos with it like a 40, 50 page Word doc or Google Doc about the level of despair that he's in, and then have the founder of Cardano making fun of him because he bear posted Cardano after liking it for so long. Like, there's two ways we're going to go out. We're going to go out like this, or we're going to go to the top of the mountain. What's happening to Ben Armstrong is sad and wrong because he's not getting the help that he needs. I'm serious. What can I do about it? I don't know. I reached out via Twitter. I DM'd two guys. I'm like, hey, if this guy needs help, I'm there. Somehow I get the feeling that if somebody actually reaches out to Ben and saves him or helps him, that could be the day that ETH takes off. I know that is fucking crazy. I don't even know if it's true. The day we rediscover our humanity in crypto is the day this thing moons beyond your wildest freaking dreams, right? We got to learn how to treat each other so we can look at crypto and go, you know what? This is the future. Crypto is this game that is very hard to play because, it's like the Wild West. You walk into the cowboy bar and you're like, who am I going to see? Is it Mario? Is it Ben? Who's around me? What's going on? Meanwhile, what is really going on all around you is the American West, right? It's like seeing Las Vegas is like a pile of dirt and a bunch of gangsters in the 60s, and then seeing that giant dome today. That's what Web3 is going to be for us. So I hope Ben gets the help he needs. I hope the coin that drove the last cycle, Ethereum, comes back so that guys like me and guys like him can say the type of things that we said the last two times that crypto went up. Except this time, it's for real. It's not a pump and dump. It's a 10-year uptrend like equities. So I know I wove Ben into Web3. Somebody please help Ben Armstrong, right? Like, even if everything he's doing right now is a bunch of theater, that kind of theater is a cry for help. And I watched his live stream where he reached 1 million followers. And I don't care what's going on now. Like, the person who reached out and said, hey, we should help this guy, was somebody that Ben turned on. Right. And he was like, hey, we should still help this guy. Because when everybody went out to dinner in the bull market, Ben paid, whether Ben was there or not. That's the YouTube influencer community. Seriously. Like, Ben was that kind of guy. He still is somewhere buried in all that negativity. Now, what I want you to take from this is I don't want you to get buried in any of your negativity. Like, I don't want your bags to turn you into this, right? I don't want that for him, and I don't want it for myself, and I don't want it for anybody else. Now, what I want back, and I end with this. This is what I want back. I want John McAfee back. John McAfee is coming back, right? Like, I would volunteer to be the human mascot for antivirus. It's been discussed, right? Red Phone Crypto said AI agents will have human mascots. I would be the human mascot for antivirus. Like, we can't bring John McAfee back on Twitter. Well, we'll bring John McAfee down, walking down the street of Austin. I can get a trainer and go get myself a, an implement of self-defense. And we will have a John McAfee part 2, virtual and actual. I conclude with the power of conviction. Not only should our humanity matter, but so should our conviction. This market is going to test what you believe in. I have been waiting for this particular type of opportunity for a long time. And it's not just antivirus, it's the whole market. If you had told somebody in 2020, the guy I worked for, that they would leave Ethereum by the side of the road 4 years from now, and no one would touch it, he would have said you were out of your mind. We got a meme coin of one of the most famous guys ever in a world where there's a void, where the most famous guys ever are in a state of distress in terms of leading the crypto space. I would do it. I would run the Fed. I would work on the Doge team, but my phone's not ringing. My phone's on. It's not ringing. So what can I do? I can wake up John McAfee. And if I wake up John McAfee, your bags go up. Trump gets on board. I'm serious, right? All you need, it only takes one guy. That guy could be you. That guy could be me, right? It only takes one guy. This antivirus message, I'm not leaving it alone. I'm not. Okay. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your Friday night fire market update. I will see you soon.